Welcome once again back to the lab. If this is your first time, if you haven't caught the whole series, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Let's get into this because I think this is going to be one of the top tier builds to solo the incoming Shiny Rayquaza raid. Azumarill is one of those Pokemon that we've been using essentially from the start. When the raids first happened, when we first got Charizard, and people were recommending this mon, it was really sus. It was really weird. But as time's gone on, this has proven to be a Pokemon that has time and again reliably, absolutely destroyed raids. So, why is that a thing? Well, let's get into the build here real quick. Number one, before I go too far into this, this is a mon that requires a decent amount of setup. So, the ability here, huge power, easy enough to come by, right? And Shell Bell, we pretty much always use Shell Bell. I am going to recommend a Fairy-type Terra on this. The main reason for that is because, well, simply put, Fairy is going to be super effective against Rayquaza. Rayquaza is going to be a Dragon-type, Dragon-Terra type, which means he's pure Dragon. So you're really looking, like Ice, Dragon to a lesser extent, or Fairy, really to capitalize on the super effective moves. So we're going Fairy here. Now, even though technically Azumarill's special attack is slightly higher natively, Azumarill has access to Belly Drum. And so we're going to go all physical attack here. So we're going for an Adamant Mint. And I like for Azumarill to go basically as far into HP as possible. So when you're EV training this mod, obviously you want this mod to be level 100. And this is almost identical to what we built prior for a bunch of different raids. So max out HP, max out attack. If you want to put the final stats in something, put them in physical defense. But the actual build itself, like I said, huge power is just going to get you some extra damage. And remember, the Shell Bell will restore HP based on the amount of damage you're outputting. So when it comes to this particular raid, the more damage you can do, number one, the faster you're going to beat it. Number two, the more health you're going to get back. Now, this is not a speedy mon. So we are always going to be looking to recoup some of that damage that we're kind of taking away as this goes on, because you're never outspeeding Rayquaza. Save for a paralysis situation, which I wouldn't personally rely on, you're always going to be trying to make up that difference. So, the more damage we can produce, the better. Now, here's the deal, move-wise. And Belly Drum is kind of the weird one here that we need to go over first and foremost. You do need Belly Drum for this to work right. Belly Drum, if you didn't know, cuts your attack in half, but will increase, basically will max out your attack stat. Now, Azumarill does have access to this, but it is an egg move. And you're going to see a lot of shiny Azumarills going around that are using this move. And most of those people are not people that just got lucky, right? Because odds of getting that egg move are pretty low. You do have ways you could manipulate it, but then to do that on top of getting a shiny, you're not using the Masuda method, whatever, pretty rare. You can actually go get the Mirror Herb, and you can put any basic Azumarill into a picnic with another mon that knows Belly Drum, and so long as a move slot is open, Azumarill will learn one of those moves that other Pokemon knows. Now, easiest way to manipulate this is basically to have just Azumarill and just someone like Iron Hands or Hariyama or someone like that has access to Belly Drum natively on your team. Just those two in there, bring him into the picnic, and Azumarill will instantly, so long as there's a slot open for move, learn Belly Drum. It's very handy, very nice. If you want a full breakdown on this, I've done an entire video on how to make this happen, and you can go ahead and check that out in the channel. I've done it several times before. We did an entire video just on it last time we ran Azumarill. The data is out there. It's pretty, it's out there. It's not really a mystery at this point. So move-wise, obviously, Belly Drum is going to be our linchpin. Play Rough is going to be our main DPS. So what we're going to do is we're going to focus on getting Belly Drum off, and we're going to focus on using Play Rough to basically break this Pokemon down. Now, the combination of Belly Drum, and play rough, as well as having huge power, these hits are going to hit hard. And I don't believe Rayquaza has anything you can really do. You might even be one-shotting this Pokemon, which is really, really, really crazy. The thing you've got to be careful of here, I am pretty sure that Rayquaza at some point is going to remove stats. So you want to make sure that you are always aware of when that stat removal is, so you either re-up Belly Drum or do your Belly Drum immediately after. We unfortunately don't have that information yet, but when we do, when the raid drops, we'll kind of come back and we'll cover it, because I think this is really going to be one of the best mods for the job. And if you don't have this mod right now, there are raids in place where you can go get mod that have really incredible stats. So if you don't have them, it's a great opportunity. Go take advantage of the raids. If you don't do the raids, you will probably have to go do bottle cap training. You'll have to go do hyper training, which honestly I did with mine. Mine is shiny. Mine I did the mirror herb trick with, and obviously bottle cap, so it's just hyper trained up to a certain extent. So you can either go use the current raids or hyper train and shiny hunt or whatever. But all of this is basically out there right now, and that's why we're talking about this mod. Not only is this a mod that's like really prevalent for this, it's also a mod that they're basically handing you at the moment with the raids that are running. Now, Belly Drum, play rough for DPS, Charm. There may come a point where Rayquaza is just doing way too much damage. I do feel like Rayquaza is going to have some special moves, or at least one special move. But being that Rayquaza has access to like Dragon Dance and Swords Dance and a bunch of other moves that will buff physical attack, I really do feel like it's going to be a physical attacking Pokemon. So, or at least a physical attacking in the raid predominantly. So you can use Charm to cut down that power if you're just taking too much damage. So you can really open up with Charm to cut down that power, and then the final move here, Aqua Ring, to kind of take back some of that HP each turn after everything is said and done. So really, you have like 3 different levels of healing here. You've got the Shell Bell, which will basically heal based on the amount of damage you output with huge power and obviously Belly Drum. You've got Aqua Ring, which is going to basically heal you based on top of all that, and just the all-around combination of that, plus any of the, like if you're running this with Gardevoir or Bulvia or someone like that, that actually has like a native healing effect. There's a bunch of different ones, but a native healing effect in the raid, there's another opportunity there. So, but Charm basically cuts down power, and Aqua Ring is just another like little healing factor that you can imbue. Those aren't super necessary. Most people will probably be fine just with Belly Drum and play rough and will need nothing else, but I do like to fill this out and give you a bunch of other different options. Also, I just realized I messed up the coloration here, but yeah, it is a fairy water type, and you do predominantly want to go in here with fairy, so take advantage of that. But if you need more information, sound off in the comments down below. If you guys want to see a refresh on the mirror herb trick, let me know as well, and I'll be back with more coming up really, really soon.